Welcome to Rewatch and Rank. On this channel, we rewatch older TV shows, provide a summary and opinion on the episode before ranking each episode against each other. And today's episode is Naruto Chunin Exams Arc, Episode 30, The Sharingan Revived, Dragon Flame Jutsu. Episode in a nutshell is a brief reminder of what happens in the episode. So this episode is a pretty battle-heavy episode. It starts where the last one left off. Naruto's out of commission, knocked out, pinned to a tree. Sakura basically gives Sasuke a scolding pep talk about how, he's so much better than Naruto, and one thing you can say about Naruto is even though he's annoying and gets in the way, he's not a coward, essentially implying that Sasuke is a coward right now. And Sasuke then flashes back to his brother's words about how, he needs to live to hate him and grow strong, and if he wants to get back at him, live his pathetic life, blah, blah, blah. And he somehow finds his courage and he starts a counterattack against Orochimaru. He reveals some new techniques. Orochimaru reveals a couple of techniques. And they end up going back and forth until Orochimaru's face starts to peel off, at which point he decides, you know what, Sasuke, I do want you. You've passed whatever test I was testing. And he then stretches out his neck like a snake and bites Sasuke, giving him a seal, a curse seal, which causes him to lose consciousness. And we later learn in the episode when he's speaking to Anko, who has the same cursed seal as Sasuke, that there is a chance that Sasuke won't survive the seal. Apparently only like 1 in 5 do survive. But obviously spoilers because he's a main character. He's gonna survive it. But he is currently out of commission, knocked out, and Sakura's left to protect both him and Naruto, despite the fact that at least so far in the series we have not seen any actual combat ability from her to date. So big task ahead of her in the future episodes. Then we have, once Orochimaru leaves, he kind of fuses into a tree. I don't know why, and then that's how Anko finds him chilling out inside of a tree. And she then reveals that she was a former subordinate of his, and she attacks him. He defends and fights her off. That's how we learn that she has a seal, because he weakens her by activating the seal, causing her pain, and ultimately ends up escaping from her, which then leads to her kind of stumbling while holding her shoulder in pain and almost being attacked by a pack of tigers, which I honestly thought were solo animals, but apparently in Naruto's universe they are pack animals. And 3 of them surround her, but she's saved by some Anbu who have been sent because, of course, when they found the dead bodies, they sent to report to the Hokage. Now the Anbu have come, and the Anbu save her from the tigers, realize that the curse seal is visible and active, and that then leads to them also realizing Orochimaru's around, which of course needs to be reported to the Hokage immediately as well. So she's saved there, and then we briefly get to see the sound team gearing up to attack a team, which, spoilers, we know in the next episode is going to be Sakura. And then we also have Team Guy strategizing and deciding to split up to scout in 3 different directions. And so they break up, which obviously, since they are showing us this brief little splitting up, that obviously hints that at least one of them is going to be in the next episode, which, because this is a rewatch, we know is going to be our wonderful Lee. So I'm looking forward to next episode as well, but that is everything that happened in this episode. Which brings us to our mostly objective ranking list, followed by the personal ranking list. So we start off, we had 2 battles, both of which started and ended within this episode. So the first resolved battle was Orochimaru versus Sasuke, worth 2 points. Then Orochimaru versus Anko, worth 2 points. We then had our multi-arc supporting character development, where we learned that Anko is a former subordinate of Orochimaru and has a curse mark of her own. Our multi-arc supporting character growth, which is also worth, so, sorry, 2 points, 2 points, 3 points. Now 3 points each, we have multi-arc supporting character growth, Orochimaru. Curse Seal of Heaven is revealed, which is what he puts on Sasuke. He has an Earth release, Earth-type clone, like Mud clone. The facial copy technique he used previously is removed, so we're able to see his true face underneath. He reveals a temporary paralysis technique, and then kind of a hiding in surface technique, which allows him to kind of phase through or into the tree, and then, he comes out of the tree, and then he half phases into a tree, which is how Anko finds him. And I still don't know why he was just chilling out in the tree, but anyways, we then have Anko, and she reveals 2 techniques worth 3 points. Hidden Shadow Snake Hands and Twin Snake's Mutual Death Technique, which she starts but isn't able to finish because she was about to start it on a clone, not the real Orochimaru, and it would have led to both of them dying together. It's basically a technique that mutually causes death, hence the name. Then we have 4 points for our multi-arc main character development, which is that Sasuke has now gained a Curse Seal of Heaven on his neck, shoulder, that junction between neck and shoulder, whatever you want to call that. I'm sure it has a name, I just don't know it. Then we have the multi-arc main character growth, also worth 4 points, and Sasuke uses the Fire Release Dragon Fire technique, Paragon Falcon Drop technique, although he also uses that on a clone, so it doesn't ultimately end up harming Orochimaru at all. And then Manipulating Windmill Triple Blades technique, which he uses to tie Orochimaru to a tree, and then he sets the tree and the wires that bound him on fire using the fire release technique. As for negatives, I didn't take any points in this episode because it really was battle heavy, and I feel like things that happen in battle, both sides are trying to actively harm the other, so that's obviously negatives, but in the context of a battle, especially in a context of a shinobi battle, not so much. I did consider taking points for, non-consensually putting a seal on somebody. But if I was going to do that, I would have had to do it in the last episode, and I don't, honestly, I'm drawing a blank if I did or not, but I don't think I did. So I decided not to take it from this one either, and they were in a battle, and sometimes battles lead to permanent wounds, or in this case, permanent curse seals. So again, given the context, I decided not to take points, but I wanted to honorably mention that I could have if I felt like it. Again, this is the mostly objective ranking list. But either way, with no negatives, those points well exceed 10. Therefore, this is a 10 out of 10 episode. And when more than one episode has the same score, we do rank within episode order. So our mostly objective ranking so far has in first, identify yourself, powerful new rivals. The 10th question, all or nothing, eat or be eaten, panic in the forest. This episode comes in 4th, the Sharingan revived, Dragon Flame Jutsu. A new chapter begins, the Chunin exam, Chunin challenge, Rock Lee versus Sasuke, Genin takedown. All 9 rookies face off, start your engines, the Chunin exam begins. The Chunin exam stage 2, the Forest of Death. Counterattack, never give in. Special report, live from the Forest of Death. Is the last place 11th. And I am considering, because this arc has so many episodes, it's going to get very long to read through all of them. So not right now, but maybe in the future, I might just say where the new episode falls in the list rather than reading out the entire list. I'm undecided at this point whether that's what I'm going to do or not, but fair warning, that may be coming in the future just because of the sheer number of episodes in this arc. There's like 48, which is going to be a very long list to read out every single episode as we get closer to that 48 number. Anywho, continuing on, we have my personal ranking, and obviously I enjoyed this episode. It's setting up for Lee in the next episode, which, one of my favorite characters, second to Gaara, tied with Guy. And then, of course, we had the battles, and what I liked is that these battles weren't interrupted. Like, one of the things I hate is when you have an attack, then you have a little bit of conversation, then you have another attack. And I'm like, I get that we get some exposition here and we get to learn more about the characters and their pasts and flashbacks and all that stuff. Like, I understand the purpose between stopping and starting, but oh my goodness, sometimes it gets annoying. And sometimes you just want like a clean, pure battle where they're just back and forthing multiple attacks all at once. And we got not one, but two of them. And we got two of them because they didn't waste time talking after every attack, which I enjoyed. It allowed the adrenaline to rush up and stay up as opposed to coming up and down, which again is great for emotional stability, is that it just went up and stayed up. But that was really good. We got character development, like a lot of it with Yanko. We got the setup for the next episode, which is exciting again because Lee is my tied for second favorite character. Um, and then obviously there's the Anbu learning about Orochimaru. We get to see Orochimaru's real face finally, which has been building up for several episodes now. Lots of new techniques. Like, there was just a lot that was happening in this episode, a lot that was revealed in the episode, a lot that was developed in the episode. So much good things and not really anything that I would consider negative. The only really negative thing is that Sakura still pretty much useless, which I feel is like kind of unfair. It's like there's only one main female character on the main team and they've made her useless. At least so far. Like, I know she does improve in the future, especially in Shippuden, she improves. But right now, she is completely useless. And even in this episode, she basically just stood there yelling and doing absolutely nothing. And now she's nursemaiding for her two companions and saying that she's going to protect them, but is she even capable of that? I don't even know because we haven't seen her participate in any fights. Even in the first arc, she stood on the sideline next to Tazuna, but she didn't actually fight anybody. So again, in the next episode, I have to see if she actually does anything or if it's Lee just arrives right away to save her or if she does something and then Lee arrives. We'll have to wait and see because I don't really remember the details of the next episode, but at least so far that's really the only negative, but that's more of the series as a whole so far rather than specific to this episode, which is why this episode is 10 out of 10. And as the first 10 of this arc, it is in first place. The Sharingan revived, Dragon Flame Jutsu, and that's followed by Naruto's counterattack, Never Give In, Chunin Challenge, Rock Lee vs. Sasuke. A new chapter begins, the Chunin Exam, Stage 2, the Forest of Death, Identify Yourself, Powerful New Rivals, Eat or Be Eaten, Panic in the Forest, Genin Takedown, All 9 Rookies Face Off, the 10th question, All or Nothing, Start Your Engines, the Chunin Exam begins, and in last place for me as well as Special Report, Live from the Forest of Death. And that now finally brings us to our series ranking so far. And Prologue Land of Waves arc, first in both lists as it's the only completed arc. And then we have Chunin Exam arc on the mostly objective at 79 out of 480. And personal ranking is 76 out of 480. But with that, we have now rewatched and ranked Naruto Chunin Exam arc episode 30, the Sharingan revived, Dragon Flame Jutsu. Like and subscribe if you'd like to, and I will see you in the next episode.